Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. We'll be starting in just 1 second. Put my camera on. Let me share my screen. Actually, I'm already sharing my screen. We got a new t-shirt from Carlos today. Very, very nice. Day traders emotions, as you could see right here. They go up, they go down, they go sideways. They're all over the place. Good morning, everybody. Good morning and happy Tuesday. All right, let's make sure my screen is on. There we go. All right, let's say hello to everybody. Hey, Sean, you're here. All right, we got Omar. Good morning, Omar. John, Richard, Rick, Arnulfo, Randy, Vano, Rihanna, Steve, Catlin, Sergey, James, John, Devin, Timothy, Dave, Peter, David, Cheese Gray Trader, Lori, Delroy, Robert, Manuel, Jill, Stacy, Bugs. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, folks. Harold, Stan, Genevieve, Junior. Junior is in the house. Wayne, Duzzy, Ray, Nestor, Wade, Waterford, Joel, Karen the Shark is here. David, Javad, Gregory, Just Jen, Eduardo, Lloyd, Bob, Mark, Tom, Mary, Don, Wesley, Donald, George, Beamclay, Eagle Beagle, Deanna, Illinois Grain Farmer, Flying Ronan, Brian, Bill, Jeff, Victor, Robert, Kevin, Mike, Whitco, Frank, Nathan, RP, Shamens, Keith, RS, Scotty, Warren, Henry. Good morning, everybody. Sean again, Ringo, Al, David. We got a lot of people here is what we got. Let me just make sure I got everybody here. Good morning, Al. Good morning, David. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Expedition. Kirk, Richard. Good morning, Richard. Hopium, Charlie, Cam, Jacques Cousteau. There he is. Good morning, Jacques. I hope you don't get offended. It's just funny. I love your name, man. It's funny. It's a funny name. It's a cool name. Sassy Trainer, Gordon, Spider Monkey, Jeremiah, Peter, Ernest, Karen. Good morning, Karen. JB, Jay Blazer, Chad, Krish, Ruth, John, Bob, Sherman. Good morning, Sherman. Sean. Good morning, Sean. Art, Bob, Jenny, TC, Edward, Sebastian, Dave, Jesse, Penny. Good morning, Penny. So good to see you here. Jody, William, Naples fan. Look at that, Bob. Bob is a great actuary. Let's give everybody a big thumbs up to Bob. He does a fantastic job. He did a great job. Dr. Serena should be back soon. I know she hasn't been feeling well. She's been having some surgeries. Good morning, Jesse, Dave, Sebastian, Edward, Clay, Rick. Good morning, Rick, Jack. Good morning, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay? Is my sound okay? I want to make sure you guys could see me, and I want to make sure you guys could hear me. First things first. Let's make sure. Good morning, Carlos. Let's make sure we're all watching at the highest quality possible. Good morning, Carlos. Good to see you here. Let's please go to the gearbox and go to 1080. Don't settle for auto. It'll jack you down sometimes. Make sure you're 1080p. Hit 1080p, okay? Thank you, guys. I just want to make sure that, she's getting better from what I understand. Rock, James, Carrie, Hopium Addict, A. Johnson. I hope to see her here soon. And let's continue. We got a lot to talk about today. So first things first, I want to show you this because I feel obligated to show you this because I was making a big deal out of it yesterday. So let me just show you the put to call ratio. Now, it closed yesterday 0.60. Right now it's up a little bit, and I like the fact that it's up a little bit, but let's take a look at it and see if it's meaningful or if it's just noise. Because this thing is very sensitive. It's not insensitive. It's very, very sensitive. Let's take that. Let's take this. Let's take this. Okay, see how it's bouncing up? That's a good sign. That means the market is starting to cool off from being a little overextended. Now, if this continues moving higher, this means the market is going to go from being oversold to overbought. Now, we got a while to go. And this is just the beginning. It usually comes up to here. but this can just revert back down. So we're going to be watching it very, very, very closely. Another thing that I wanted to point out to you, and I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but I want to show you guys something. This is be very mindful of this. Now, I'm jumping a little bit. I want to show you guys something. I want you to see the 90-day highs, the stocks that are making 90-day highs. Now, as you know, some of you don't know this, so I'm going to just preface. I don't buy stocks that are overextended, okay? This is actually a perfect example. So let me show you Apple. So look at this. So this is a stock. So I want to show you this. This band, this green band right here, tells us if a stock is starting to get overextended. Now, it can go above this band. This is only 1.5. It usually peaks out at about 2 ATR deviation away. But this is far enough. Do you see how it's violating the band on the upside? How if you would have bought it right here, it wouldn't have been overbought, but over here, it's too late. You're way too late to the party. See how it every time it jumps up here, it comes back down, comes up here, comes back down. You see where it is right now? That's the biggest company in the world. That's Apple. But here's what I want to show you. And no, Kramer's not going to be showing you this today. Or maybe he will. Look at Tesla. Look at the same thing. And again, there's a reason why, and I'll come back to this, but I want to start off with this because I'm trying to make a point. Look at Tesla. Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? So here's my point. Look at Sophie. Look at Barrick Gold. Look at APLD. Look at Okla. Look at Irene. Look at IO&Q. This is still okay. Look at Kate. What I'm trying to tell you is, if I look at the majority of these stocks, like for example, look, APLD. Look at that. Let's do another one. Sophie. Look at that. Oklo. Look at that. These are the biggest stocks. These are our most tradable stocks on our watch list. MSTR up there, NBIS. Now, some are not, and I was able to find some that are not, but like look at our LRCX. Okay, let's take a look here. Look at LRCX. Okay. Look at how overextended that is. Now, look, this is not normal. This is not normal. None of what I just showed you is normal, and it happens to be the biggest stocks on my 90-day breakout list. Stoic, I like to use the word overextended. I never said it was a good time to short. See, that's the problem. People think if something is overextended, it's a good time to short. You only want to short the weakest stocks when something is overextended, and we'll get into all of that. And finally, we're starting to get 80, 90 on the 90-day low list. So we're starting to get a little two-sided market action. For the last month and a half, we've been doing this. So Penny, this is the last month and a half. You asked me something, so here's what we've been doing the last month and a half. Up, flag, down, flag. We don't have any rhythm. We don't have any rhythm during the day. Have you noticed the market gaps up and then just consolidates the rest of the day, or goes down and consolidates the rest of the day? We don't have any back and forth. We don't have this amazing back and forth where we go up and down. Now we're going to start seeing some of that as soon as we get into January, because institutions are going to start coming back, which will give us a lot more rhythm. But let's go back to my point here. My point here is we are starting to get extremely overextended. We are starting to get a little overextended. Like every stock on my watch list is overextended on the first page, like that overextended, like way overextended. When stocks get overextended, the party's over. You can't go long and you can't short those stocks because then you'd be picking highs. So it's been doing this without any of this. The rubber band keeps snapping back, we keep pulling the rubber band, and then when it's time to release it, it doesn't go back. It just goes like this. You understand? Then we come back for one more day, and then we come up again, and then we come up a day, and then we stretch it further, and then we go a little bit in, and then we stretch it like this. Well, folks, that rubber band isn't going to last forever. Volatility did not go down yesterday. Volatility went up as the market made an all-time high. Again, and by the way, while we're seeing that, RSP is doing this. Do you understand why, Penny? You've basically got a handful of stocks going crazy and distorting the market, but the market hasn't been doing anything. Does that look familiar to you, Penny? This equity curve? It's something you mentioned this morning to me in the email or whatnot. That's the problem. There's no range. There's no. You have a handful of stocks breaking out and doing this, and nothing is coming back, and there's no rhythm to the market. Remember, this is like the first week, second week maybe that we've actually have a short list worth looking at. We haven't had anything to the short side. So again, I just wanted you guys to understand what I'm seeing right now in the market. Okay. And exactly, Jeff, the first 30, 60 minutes of the day, we see a move and that's it. Why does Tesla not have the overextended line above it? It does. It does. Here's Tesla. It has it. Look how far up. Look how far it's up above the line. Here's the line. Look where we're at right now. We're like, look at history of Tesla. Look what happens every time we come up here. So look, this is the last time we came up above this line like this, and look what happened right afterwards. You could actually, let me show you right here. Here, so you guys could see what I'm talking about. Oh God, this thing is a pain in the ass to move. Here, you could see it right here, right there. Right here, right here. There, you could see it right there. And then what did it do? It came right back down. Look, all the way back down. You see that? You see this? That's what I'm fearful of. This is what I'm fearful of. But it's not just Tesla. It's not just Tesla, folks. It's a lot more than Tesla. Like Apple, hello. Like, it's overboard. It's a little overboard. So my point here is, and I know I'm jumping a little bit, but I wanted to show you because this is becoming a big concern for me. Okay. Also, what is the bond market doing? The bond market has filled this gap completely. See that? Completely filled this gap. This is not bullish for the stock market either. Okay. So let's break everything down again. I just wanted to take a little detour and show you. You lost me on the comment, trade the weakest stocks overextended. No. Ralph, here's what I'm saying. Okay, this is a good point. I'm going to take a minute for this. So here's what a degenerate would do. I'm going to show you, Ralph, the two ways of doing it, okay? A degenerate would try to short Apple or Tesla right here because I said it's overbought. A real trader would instead, when this starts coming off, they'll take a look at Target or they'll be looking at FI. Do you understand? What you want to do is you want to short the weakest stock, not the strongest stock when it starts to break down. So what a beginner will do is, or a degenerate gambler, they'll start shorting Apple or Tesla instead of shorting ODFL or WSC. Because the stocks that are going to get impacted the most when the Teslas and the Microsoft fall down will be the stocks that are the weakest right now, not the stocks that are the strongest right now. Do you understand what I was trying to say, Ralph? Yes, you could get it all. Sandra, I have it on my Thinkorswim. I show it to you in the office all the time. I first put this on Thinkorswim, and then I had Matt put it for me here. Good morning, Soler. NVIDIA, let's look at NVIDIA real quick. Not there quite yet, but NVIDIA hasn't been leading. Let's look at SMH instead. NVIDIA, oh, by the way, AMD and NVIDIA are no longer leading. That's a big red flag. But I digress. Look at SMH. You see that, Jeff? You see that? Thank you, Gustavo. I hope everybody is having an aha moment right now because I'm giving you some really good points right now. Thank you, Omar. I'm giving you real red meat. I'm taking my morning show off to give you all this stuff. I'm taking because this is really important right now. This is really important right now. The stocks that have been leading are extremely overextended in comparison to their And I love the folks who are like, it's different this time, Roger. Oh boy. I love those. Those are my favorite ones. Okay, let's look at the market. The market right now is mixed. There's no congruency to this market whatsoever. We've got a lot of Fed data, which we'll talk about when we talk about catalysts in a minute. The US dollar is starting to sink again, as you could see right here. If the US dollar comes off, you know what's going to happen to gold. It's going to start impacting the gold market. This is an A line, by the way, on US dollar. Don't know if you guys are seeing that or not, but that's an A line. That's an A line on the US dollar right there to the downside. If we have a clean break right here, and if we break this level, we're going to test this level. That's a nice A line right there. Bond market, we're filled this gap. This is not good right here. This is not good. This is bad for the economy, straight up bad for the economy. We're making higher highs on a handful of stocks while the bond market's going down. That's just beautiful. Crude oil not doing anything, not doing anything. Gold. Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. You see this? Look at that. And what happens to gold when US dollar starts coming down? US dollar started getting strong again. Gold started getting strong again. When US dollar, if this is not a low, if this just stays here, that's fine. But if US dollar starts breaking down again, it's going to put pressure on gold once again. And look at that level right to our trend line right here. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just hovering right around the 100-day moving average. If we break the 100-day moving average, it will be a catalyst. If we could, it's a 2 thumbs up session. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Very nice of you. Very nice. Very nice. You're right. It's a long way to 265, but the night is still young, Naples fan. Mark says the lights just came on. That's fantastic. Well, folks, here's my link to the VIP room where a lot more lights will come on today. Here's the VIP room link. Let me tell you what we're going to be talking about in the VIP room today. We're going to talk about I wanted to show a demonstration of using Stock Fetcher for the A line. That's the number one. I keep forgetting to do that. I wanted to do that. I'm going to talk about how to use the Vold and when it's pure randomness, how to use Tick to identify solo candles, direct different assets to trade the S&P 500, their advantages and their disadvantages, why day trading small caps and trading indexes is a game of apples and oranges, why trading large cap stocks and indexes is apples and oranges. Intro to trading my levels. Remember, I told you I'm going to start teaching you how to trade my levels. Guess what we're going to be doing today in the VIP room? And fastest moving stocks during the second half of the day. And I'll go through my. I'm going to share. I want to go through the. I want to show you how the problem with gaps, and I'm going to use IBM as an example for that. So again, I'm going to talk about Stock Fetcher real quick. That'll be very fast. Stock Fetcher for A-line, very, very fast. Then I'm going to talk about how to draw my levels. You know how you guys love my levels? Day trading large cap stocks versus indices, trading small cap stocks versus indices, different assets to trade the SPY. They trade the SPY, their advantages and their disadvantages, how to use Tick to identify solo candles, and you're going to love this session, when to use the Vold and when it's pure randomness, okay? I think that you would be out of your mind to miss this session. Here is the links again. I'm going to talk about small caps in just a second. I really wanted to talk about these overextended prices. And here's the link for Customer Service Live. Here's the link for Customer Service Live. I went on a ramp, on a tangent this morning because this is really bothering me. This extended stocks are bothering me. Now let's look at small caps, okay? And I figured give us a little more time for the small caps to develop. Okay. So here's what I've got for you for today. And I'm going to talk about small caps today in the VIP room. Okay. Okay, we're only looking here and here. We got SLE. SLE, only if SLE goes above 14. Oh, it actually went a little higher. I had it 14, but it's actually 1406. GLTO, I'll be darned. I have this at 655. It already went up to 696. So how about seven? I gotta watch these things like a hawk. How about $7, 701 for GLTO, 702 for GLTO, and SSKN. I have this at 425. So we got SLE, we got GLTO, and we got SSKN. Let's see if anything else is now on my watch list. No, no, no. That's about it. Let's add this one. J. Let's add this one. JZNGXZ. Jesus, this is hard for me to pronounce. JZXN. This will give you dyslexia here, this ticker. Above 230, 240. Now, folks, if you are not a professional trader, please trade these following my instructions. In other words, initiate them only after they reach a certain price after market hours. If you're a professional trader like Bugs, or if you make 100,000 a week regularly, you don't have to follow my advice. You could there's a million different ways to trade this. I'm just giving you the safest way. But again, if you're a professional trader, feel free to ignore my advice. If you're not a professional equity trader, in other words, you're not consistently profitable trading small caps, please listen to my advice. And this afternoon, I'll talk about where to put your protect. I'll talk a little bit about how to protect yourself with these. Okay. But please, if you're not a professional trader, if you're not consistently profitable, follow my advice. If you're consistently profitable, you could throw my advice into the garbage can. Okay, just FYI. All right. Just wanted to clarify that. CIFR, let's look at CIFR. CIFR. No, CIFR is not really, first of all, it's not really a small cap stock. It's got real volume. This stock has volume of 50 million shares. This is not a small cap stock. Second of all, the stock is overextended, like most stocks that I like right now. Look, this is where you're supposed to be buying. Look what most of these stocks are. They're like a 2 ATR. It's not good. And I keep seeing that over and over and over again. And people keep telling me, how much on SLE? SLE was, sorry, let me do that again, Nathan. How are you today, by the way? Good morning to you. It was above 14, like 14. Here, I'll tell you exactly what it is. 14, 14, 14, 14, 1406. Yeah, 1406 is fine. You don't want to go lower. You want to go higher. Okay. So as I said, US dollar could potentially be an A line here. We're going to be watching if this breaks down. If this breaks down, we're going to be watching for an A line to the downside. Bond market is filled this gap, and I'm not really seeing the bond market, as you could see right here. I'm not really seeing it trying to get away from us. Matter of fact, every time it comes up here, it gets bounced back hard. Hard. Okay? Okay. Crude oil not doing anything. Gold, again, gold is very dependent on US dollars. So if this is a fake out, gold should be fine, aside from it being overextended. Okay. One second. I got to tell Matt something. One second, folks. One second. It'll just take a second. One second, folks. Okay, sorry about that. I had to tell my assistant something. Okay. Uh, I am. Yeah, send me an update. I always love to hear from you guys. Always love to hear. Except this from this one guy. He keeps trolling me. He's a lifetime member and he keeps trolling, but everybody else I love to hear. All right. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is right at the 100-day moving average. Please keep an eye on this level. And by the way, we adjusted our VWAP yesterday. Thank you all for telling me that. It's right here. You could see it right here. See how it's small it is? I usually wait a couple of weeks, but I figured it's summer, might as well do it. It's right here. So now we have beginning of the year, and now we have quad witching right here. Right here, folks, right there. Okay? Very important. China's starting to cool off. And I'm expecting us to go right here. Right here. Target right here. Okay. Hey, John, how are you? John sends me the nicest emails. He sends me cat short videos of cats, which relaxes me a lot. Thank you so much for doing that. So that's China. Okay. Let's put everything together now, and then we'll talk about the large caps. And again, folks, I'll review what I just talked about again, but I thought it was really important. We'll talk about stocks, and I'll give you levels. I'll actually draw levels for you today, and I'm going to give you the rules for the levels. So investors remain on sideline ahead of speech from Federal Reserve, business activity. Actually, you know what? Oh, I was going to say catalysts. What are our catalysts for today? Let's give catalysts. What are our catalysts for today? Got a lot of people here. What are our catalysts? Hope so, Eagle Beagle. Hope so. RBX10, congrats. What's our, okay, Fed data, PMI, manufacturing, let's see. AutoZone, PMI, Fed, AutoZone chips, Boeing, yes. Boeing, yes. Yes. Fed data, Fed speakers, consumer staples, yes, I got that. Let's see. No, John, I keep John Short. I keep telling you the same thing. Please don't post stocks on here that are not in the S&P 500. I don't think Fly is in the S&P 500. The last time I checked, maybe I'm crazy. Yes, AutoZone is definitely in. So here's what I've got. I got chips, Boeing, PMI, Powell, AutoZone, Boeing, chips, PMI, and Powell. That's what I've got. Richard Feinberg's got KView. I think KView was yesterday. AutoZone, Boeing, CRW. Is CRWV a S&P 500 stock, folks? CRWV? Let's see. Maybe I'm out of touch a little bit. It could be. Let's see. Stranger things have happened. Nope. I asked you guys to always come here and check if it's in the S&P 500. Now let's check Fly. So I know that if you guys are posting here, you are completely ignoring my information and what I tell you completely. Do you see this being in the S&P 500? No. Why are folks putting Fly and CRWV in here? That's great. Next time when CRWA becomes NVIDIA, you let me know about it, Ralph. Until then, it's a small cap stock. Plus, chips are in play anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's okay. You don't have to be sorry. I just want to make sure you guys understand it because I keep saying the same thing every single day. And I give you this link to check if it's in the S&P 500. So I know that if you guys are not doing this, I know you guys are not checking if it's in the S&P 500. And the reason I get so upset is because if you think Fly is a catalyst and you're going to keeping an eye on Fly today, you're going to be in deep shit. That's the problem. Not because I'm getting upset because I don't want you guys making mistakes. Because you're going to be looking at stocks like CoreWeave and Fly, and the market's going to be doing its thing, and you're going to be basing what the market's doing based on those two stocks. Basically, you're going to get zero information from what you're doing. So the difference is getting a lot of usable information versus getting no usable information. That is the reason why. I'm not getting upset at you guys. I'm getting upset because it's important not to get it wrong. And all you have to do is ask yourself, or just go here and check if the stock is in the S&P 500. Now, I have enough time in the morning to do an extensive write-up, outline, get ready for the session, and talk for an hour. I think you guys could just check to see if the stock is in the S&P 500. I don't think that's too much to ask. Okay. No, it doesn't, Watford. Small cat. No, no, no. All right, let's continue. So we have our catalyst: chips, AutoZone, Boeing, manufacturing, PMI, and Powell. Okay, we got that. Let's now talk about everything. Investors remain on the sidelines. Jerome Powell is speaking. U.S. business activity. Nvidia rose 3%. Chips were a catalyst yesterday. I've been telling you how much I like this Teradyne stock now for several days. It was in an ascending triangle before it went up 12%. It was one of our choosier stocks this week and last week. Applied. See, I told you yesterday that chips was a catalyst, and we're now reading about chips being a catalyst yesterday. You see, KView already moved the market yesterday. We don't have to worry about KView today. Yesterday, we talked about KView, okay? Perfume, remember perfume. And again, if I'm being tough on you, it's because I care about you. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm trying to make you profitable. That's all I'm trying to do. Please don't take this as the wrong way. I'm just being tough on you because I love you guys. I want you guys to do really, really well. And by the way, the bond market is breaking down, which is not great. So John, please, please, please do not take what I'm saying as anything other than me caring about you guys. I really care about you, and I want to keep getting those emails about how you guys are making money. That's all this is, okay? So please, please, and I don't want you to start looking at things. I mean, I'm going to get an email today. Roger, I was looking at CoreWeave and I was looking at Fly, and it didn't help me analyze the market. What you're doing is not working. I don't want to get emails like that, okay? All right. All right. Federal government Moran said Monday that interest rates are currently too high, argued for cutting them aggressively in the coming months to safeguard the labor market. St. Louis president said he supported last week's rate cuts, but sees limited scope for further reductions. I agree with him on that. See, I don't know if the Fed is going to lower rates 3 times this year. That's something I'm a little, I don't know. Bostic said he was uncomfortable with last week's rate cut, but still little justification for further easing this year. You see where I'm going with this, and where they're going with this, more importantly? Hammock said she remains firmly focused on inflation, and that policymakers could be careful with interest rate cuts to avoid overheating the economy. Naples fan, you're funny, man. You're funny. That's funny. Boogie stick. I call it my boogie stick. A big virtual. Yeah, that's my boogie stick. There's an 89% chance of a 0.25 rate cut. In October. Hey, does anybody know? I should know this. I'm embarrassed. I should know this. Does anybody know what the plot dot summary, what the expectation is in December? I can always ask Kane. He's really big on this. By the way, Kane has a cold. He's sick. Leave him alone right now. He's not feeling 100%. But I'm going to ask him. I'm curious what the dot plot summary is showing for December right now. That's all I wanted to know. I really don't know, and I should know that information. Organization of Economic Cooperation says Tuesday that U.S. and global economies are expected to slow less sharply this year than expected. That's great news, but we'll continue to lose momentum in 2026. Remember, the market prices everything ahead of time. So the market is now going to start pricing this in. Anything that's known, and this is already known, is going to be priced in, especially with earnings expectations and all of that. Higher tariffs. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with that more. We're going to have some pain. It's impossible for us not to have some pain, right? U.S. economy is now projected to expand 1.8% this year, up from 1.6, and that's 1.5 next year, unchanged from previous forecast. The global economy is expected to grow 3.2% this year, up from 2.9% in June. Obviously, we're going to be focused on Powell today at 12:35. I don't know why he's speaking at lunchtime, but here we are. Investors will monitor preliminary U.S. Purchase Manager Survey, global manufacturing data. There's anything coming out at 8:30? Current accounts. That's not market moving. But the bonds are actually moving on this. Although that's not really market moving. This is not good for the market, guys. You can cut it, slice it. This is higher rates right here. I mean, maybe financials, but it's not great for the market. And then the big report this week is going to be right here, personal income. This is going to be a revision. This is going to be a third revision, so I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact. Okay. Richard says only on S&P, not NASDAQ. I don't know what we're talking about, Richard. I don't know Hopium Addict. I just know yesterday he had a fever. So just, FYI, give the guy a break. I don't know what you're asking, Richard, about S&P 500. Can you just rephrase the question? So let me know exactly what your question is. Hey, Matt, how are you? Okay. So let's talk stocks. Let's see what's leading right now. So first things first, volatility. Things that I don't like. Let me just tell you what I don't like. I already told you about the overextension. I couldn't hold that back, okay? Here's what I don't like. I don't like that the market made an all-time high yesterday and that volatility went above the 50-day moving average, and it's still above the 50-day moving average right now. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that the bond market keeps breaking down and is not trying to fill this gap up, because last time I checked, if interest rates are going to go down, then this should go down, because this is yield needs to come down. This is yield coming down. I'm sorry, excuse me. This needs to come up. If this comes down, it means interest rates are going up, not down. So bonds going down means interest rates going up. I'm not seeing much effort into pushing this ahead. And by the way, look at what happened when bonds crossed that level, that overbought level. Boom, boom. Bonds are a lot more efficient than stocks. You know how small caps, anything can happen on small caps because it only takes like 50 people to push them? Well, the stock market's much harder. The bond market, the big stock market's much harder. The bond market's 100 times harder. So there's a lot more efficiency here. Has anyone heard from the lady that had the heart problem? That's yes, she's going to come back. Yes. I talked about her. John, a little earlier. Okay. All right. So I don't like the bond market. I don't like volatility. I told you I don't like the put to call ratio still, coming to this level. This was not good right here. This was definitely not a good sign right here. Let's see what's leading right now. All right, Bitcoin is here. Communication services is here. This is the strongest sector, by the way. Consumer discretion. So you see how we're falling off a little bit? You see how consumer discretionary here, let me go back a week ago. Look where communication services are. Look where consumer discretionary is. Communication, consumer discretionary. That's Monday, September 15th. Look at it today. Consumer discretionary, communication services. Look where retail is. Look where home builders is. This is interest rate sensitive. So it looks like technology is still holding on, but parts of technology are not. Also, and I wanted to save this for last. I want to show you guys something else. Look at consumer discretionary sector. It's been going down. Consumer discretionary has been going down now for 5 days. Look what happened when it hit that level. Look what happened here, and look what happened here, and look what it's been doing. It's now right back at the 8-day EMA. So be careful. Consumer discretionary is not helping us. Okay. This is and XLK. Look at XLK. Overbought. And when I say overbought, I mean we haven't been this overbought since like right here. And what happened right here? Just folks, I'm just showing you how it is. Okay, just showing you how it is. I'm not Dr. Serena. Yes, I'm not trying to instill my feelings. I'm just showing you, pointing things out. Mid caps are no longer leading. Interest rates, home builders, retail. That's not good. That's not good. Okay. All right. One more time, I'll do it, Bob. How about that? Folks, if you're just coming in here, we got over 600 people here. Please go to the Gearbox. Please go to 1080p so you can watch all the charts I'm going to show you in a minute very, very clearly right here. And also, if you don't mind, give us a thumbs up. One time, just one time, and subscribe to our channel somewhere right here. I think there's something there. All right. Let's see here. One second. Oh, God. One second. I got to send something to Matt right here. Oh, God. This is so difficult. One second, folks. One second. I got to tell Matt something here. Sorry, folks. I'm multitasking. My assistant needs my help. Okay. I think he's got it now. So, yeah, give us a couple of thumbs up while we're doing this. Let me just look at the bond market again. I don't like what I'm seeing. Okay. Overall, let's look at daily charts of SPY. Let's look at daily chart of SPY. Let's just do this here so we can see the whole thing. Overextended. Now look at RSP. Look at RSP. Look at SPY. Overextended. QQQE doesn't seem like it wants to go much higher above this, does it? Looks like it's peaking out here. Look, right here. See that? We're overextended, folks. So you take the mags again away, which have been overextended now for a week, which is crazy. Which means they really need to cool off. They really, really need to cool off. We're going to be in deep, deep doo-doo. And as I said, a lot of the stocks on my watch list are overextended. So I really do not like this market right now. I'm very nervous about the upside, especially with the bond market going down, with the volatility. I mean, look at volatility the last 3 days. It's been going up, not down. Okay, let's talk intraday levels. Let's talk intraday levels. Let me draw some levels for you guys. Okay. Okay. I'm going to post these for you in the Telegram channel right now. No, they're not, Jose. Or Josie, not Jose, Josie. They're not. I've explained what they are, and we'll explain again what they are in the VIP room. All right, let me post this for you. I know you guys like when I post this for you, so I'll post this for you. And today I'm going to actually give you some criteria so you could do this yourself. Today, the VIP room is going to be on fire. I'll post the link again. SPY levels. Okay, QQQ. There. 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 Okay. And again, I said I'm going to give you guys levels today. Yes, at 12 o'clock, Josie. And sorry if I didn't mean to mispronounce your name. I can't see well that far from going to have to start wearing glasses pretty soon. I look pretty funny in glasses too. I had LASIX about 20 years ago. Actually, yeah, about 20 years ago. Uh, QQQ levels. Let me give you SMH levels, okay? Okay, that's pretty good. Hopefully these levels help you guys out. And again, I'm going to give you the criteria, simple criteria. It's not going to be my exact criteria, but because my exact criteria will take you a long time to learn, but I'm going to give you a real simple criteria where you could start doing this yourself, okay? SMH levels. And let me give you the Russell 2000 too while we're at it. These levels we don't have to change. They're still pretty good. I just need to adjust these right here. Okie dokie. Yeah, I don't really need to do anything here. Let me just send this your way. And again, I'm sharing all this on the Telegram channel for free. You guys can grab them there. If you're finding this useful, please let me know. 2000 levels. Okay. There's your levels for today, folks. Now, as I keep saying over and over and over again, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. And let me just say this again. Here's the link for Customer Service Live, folks. Cam and Gustavo show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every single day. If you have a question, like Josie just had a question about ATR, they can help you. They can answer that question. Rock has a good question. That said, the trend is bullish until it's not. Yes, but not on overextended stocks. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay? So today in the VIP room, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to give you some red meat on how to generate these levels for yourselves. Okay? All right. It's going to happen today in the VIP room. Here's the agenda for the VIP room again. Let me just tell you what it is. All right. I'm gonna first show you. First, we'll start off with me showing you the A-line stock fetcher code. A lot of people wanted to see me do that again. That'll just take 2 minutes. I'm going to talk about Vold and when to read into the Vold, when not. How to use tick to identify solo candles, different assets to trade the SPY, their advantages and disadvantages. You really don't want to miss this session. A lot of you don't even realize, but you have a lot of questions here. Why day trading small cap stocks and trading indexes is totally different. Why day trading large cap stocks and trading index is totally different. Intro to my trading levels. That's what I'll teach you how to draw the levels, and I'll give you the fastest moving stocks for this afternoon. I dare anybody to tell me that we don't have an amazing session for us today in the VIP room. I dare anybody to say that that is not a great session to have. Okay? All right. So now let me give you stocks that I'm looking at, and then I'll give you my parting words. I'm actually going to get out of here early today, which is a good thing. So I want to show you guys something. And again, I'm going to show you this again. Now, I started this class with what I'm going to show you again right now because we have half of the people who missed it, okay? So when I go to my stock screens, when I go to 52-week highs, when I go to 20-week highs, when I go to my 90-day highs, and I look at my scan, what I'm seeing, and not every one of them, but what I'm seeing is stocks that are largely overextended from the 8-day EMA. Tesla, Apple, Nvidia slightly, Sophie, Barrick Gold, APLD, and they're by the way, they're organized by volume. Irene, Okla, IONOQ. So I want to show you guys something. So here I am. I come to my scan. I want you guys to see it because I think if you see it the way from my perspective, you'll have that oh shit moment. Okay, look at Tesla. Look at Apple. All I did was press this. They're organized automatically by volume. Okay. I don't mess with this. overextended, way 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 overextended, not overextended, 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 not overextended, way overextended, way overextended, way overextended, way overextended. Are you guys starting to understand where I'm going with this? Way overextended. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to help you with here? Okay. A lot of overextended stocks. Now, what I did, tear down, overextended, over everywhere I look, overextended. They're all overextended. So yes, so who was it that said this a minute ago? Rock. So yes, we still go long. Stocks that are not overextended. Do you see how overextended everything is? I just showed you how overextended. I had to go through the second page just to start finding stocks that are not overextended. So you want to find stocks like this, not stocks like this. You want to see where their breakout levels from, and you got to make sure they're not overextended. Zeta's not overextended. CVS is not overextended. Shopify is not overextended. This is grossly overextended. This is grossly overextended. Every stock on the first page. Let me just show you one stock that's not overextended. That's not overextended. This is overextended. This is overextended. All I'm doing is just looking at my 90-day highs. Overextended, 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 all of these are overextended. Do you guys understand the problem we have here? You guys understand the difference between trading to the right side and trading overextended stocks? You don't want to trade any stocks that's too far away from the 8-day EMA. So let me show you the stocks that are on my watch list, okay? I'm going to do the long side first. Potential A-line. Potential A-line. Now, if it's close to this level, this dotted line, it means it's overextended. Does this look overextended to you? I demand participation. Participation. Is this overextended? No. UNH is not overextended. How about HAC, another medical stock? Is that overextended? If it's violating this line, it's overextended. No, it's not overextended. How about Wells Fargo? Let's see. Ooh, getting overextended. Wouldn't be on our list. How about BK? Almost overextended. Not quite yet. Almost overextended. How about VRT? Overextended. How about Hood? Not overextended. Almost overextended. How about Qualcomm? Not overextended yet, but almost. How about Shopify? Overextended. How about Zeta? Not bad. Still okay. Still okay, as I said earlier. Still okay. How about CVS? I like what I'm seeing here. Not overextended. How about AbbVie? It's just a little here. It's still not above this area. It's got to be above, poking out. Let's see. Flex. Not overextended. SEDG. Way overextended. Baker. This is actually perfect right here. Beautiful. Beautiful. So do you guys understand what I'm saying here? No, I don't know what was the question that I said yes, no. You don't want to trade overextended stocks. So you don't want stocks that are above this level today. So out of all of the stocks that are on my watch list, the only stocks that are not overextended are CVS, Zeta, Baker. Nope, overextended. UNH, potential A-line, potential A-line, potential A-line. HACA, potential A-line, potential A-line, potential A-line. And that's it. So you got UNH, HCA, you got Zeta, you got, no, not Shop. No, not Shop. You got CVS. And this one I really like, Baker. Baker. Okay. ICE, let's look at ICE. No, it's not perfect. No. Okay, now let's look at shorts. And I want to find ones that are not overextended. SBAC, A-line alert, A-line alert, A-line alert. Not overextended. Not overextended. Not overextended. not overextended. ODFL, not overextended. See, it's not penetrating this line. WSC, not overextended. Hood, you could see right here. It's slightly, it's just a, it's, I guess this is still okay. This is still okay. It hasn't broken out this area. It's still okay. Hood is still okay. Yes, CVS looks good. Yes. Flex is still okay. Flex is still okay. Okay? Still okay. You don't want stocks that have already violated this level. That's the key. Like this, like this. See, that's not okay. That's here. Look. That's not okay. That's not okay. That's not okay. That's not okay. That's okay. That's okay. See, it hasn't violated that area. So just wanted to make sure you guys have those stocks. Now, I got to get out of here. Got to go to work. Let me see what the bond market's doing. Can't believe I'm chatting with you guys all this time, having a good time, forgetting about my work. Okay, folks, I don't like the bond market. It's just doing this. The bond market gives stocks its directional bias. We have, as you saw, gross overextension to the upside. Look at MAGs, guys. I mean, just one day above this level is enough, but this is just craziness. This is craziness, okay? This is not sustainable, especially when you have RSP doing this. Think about it. How far away can those 7 stocks get away from the broad market? Not very far. And look at QQQ and look at QQQE. See, violated and then it's coming back down now. All right. So, you're welcome. I hope those dotted lines are standard. So let me explain now. I'll go ahead and answer this question. What are these lines? I've explained it several times. We took the 8-day EMA right here, and we added and subtracted 1.5 ATR, 10-day ATR. That's this right here. This is 10-day ATR. So we added the 10-day ATR 1.5 times. So we take 150% of this. We add it to this level, and we subtract it to this level. We take 150% of this, 150% of this. We add it to the yellow line, that's the green line, and we subtract it from the yellow line, that's the red line. So all these are 1.5. It's adding 1.5 times this and subtracting 1.5 times this. That's all we're doing here, okay? And this is showing you the reason why I wanted to put them on here. I could see it with my eye. I don't need these, but you guys do need these to see if we're getting overextended. I love buying, as Rock said, we should still go with the trend. You sure should go with the trend. Notice what stocks have I been buying yesterday in the pit? Long stocks. We're making highs, but I'm not buying overextended stocks. You don't want to buy overextended stocks. What percentage would I consider? 1.5. It's right here. I put it right here. 1.5 is starting and 2 is crazy overextended. Yes, Alan, guys, I first put him on Thinkorswim, and every day for the last 3 weeks in the VIP room, I've been showing you these from Thinkorswim. Finally, I got tired of it, and I asked Matt to post them here as well. So they originally came from Thinkorswim, and I have them on Thinkorswim, and I've been showing you them every single day on Thinkorswim, but I've been going back and forth. So this way, I don't have to go back and forth. I could just use TC2000 for all of it. But yes, definitely. Any other questions before I conclude the session? I got to get to work. Gardeners are here. All right. So let me give you the links again. We're going to have a mind-numbing session in the VIP room today. That's right. Mind-numbing session. Here's the link. And don't forget, who are you going to call when you get frustrated? Don't come calling me. Call Cam and Gustavo show. Cam and Gustavo from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Can you write the recipe for overextended? Jacques, I just explained it 10 times. 1.5 times this, the 10-day ATR. I took the 8-day EMA and I added 1.5. I multiplied this 1.5. So it's at 99, right? Just pretend this is at 1. Multiply this 150%. You're going to get $1.50. Take $1.50, add it to this. That's this green line. Subtract $1.50 from here. That's going to be this red line. That's it. That's all this is. It's right here. The formula is literally right here. Look, guys, it's right on top of you. This is the 8-day EMA, and we're adding the 1.5 times the ATR, the 10-day ATR. See, 10-day ATR? All we're doing is multiplying this 150%, 1.5, and adding it and then subtracting it from here. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing, guys. Okay? That's all it is. You send me an email about how to get them and I'll send it to you. Okay. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I gave the longs. So I gave the longs. I gave the shorts. ATR, you don't need a formula for ATR. You just need to put the 10-day ATR. All of your trading platforms already have the ATR. You just have to set how many days. The standard setting is 14 days. I like to use 10 days. If you use 14, no one's going to die. No animals or children are going to die in the experiment. Okay. But I like to use 10-day. 2-week ATR multiplied by 1.5 times, draw these levels. You can always just come here and multiply this by 150% and just add it to the yellow line and subtract it. The result is the same. Okay. See, it's $1.50. Look where this is, right at $1. So just adding 1.5 times. That's all it is. Did someone capture all shorts? I'll do the shorts again here. SBAC, red line potential. KDP, HRL, Target, FI, fun. Let's have some fun. IFF, ODFL, and WSC. Let me just check one more thing. Oh, one more thing. Just see something. So yesterday, I gave you the stock in the pit, SE. That's overextended. Do you see why I gave it to you yesterday in the pit? See how it's right at the 8-day? How it's not up here? It's not pulling one of these? So yes, Rock, we're still trading to the long side, but we're not trading overextended stocks. And most stocks are starting to get really overextended. That's what I was trying to say. All right. Thank you, guys. Here's Customer Service Live. Here is VIP room. And folks, levels, small caps, large caps, all that stuff. All right. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you later. Have a fantastic day. If anybody didn't capture anything, just send me a quick email. Bye, everyone. Have a great day. That was a great session. I thought this was a great session. Sorry I was jumping around a little bit, but there was a lot of things to discuss. And again, we're going to have an amazing VIP room, folks. Markets are overextended. They may stay overextended for a while, but it's going to mess with our rhythm. It's going to just create a very this kind of a price action, which we don't want to see. I'll see you guys later. If you have any questions, email me. Talk soon. Be careful.